This is a really interesting project because it gives students ownership as opposed to researchers and adults trying to fix the problem. Students are learning why there is a problem and what they can do to help.
We were learning about other math skills to help us do surveys to use them in order to prove experts wrong on the stereotypes that they say that blacks and Latinos are not good in math.
You want to know how to rhyme, you better learn how to add. It's mathematics.
Mighty Mos Def.
It's simple mathematics. Check it out. I'll revolve around science.
What are we talking about here? Mighty Mos Def.
It's simple mathematics. Check it out. I'll revolve around science.
What are we talking about here?
Was there any particular question that stood out?
Which ethnic group do you believe does better at math? Society nowadays makes different people seem smarter than other people, so.
I feel that the issue of the achievement gap between Black and Latino students and their white counterparts is a very important issue, and I felt that it's a beautiful opportunity to give youth of color the power of discussing issues that affect their communities and trying to come up with solutions.
Head of Chicago Public Schools, Barbara Easton Watkins, she asked us to come up with a program to address the achievement gap, I'll say quote, of minority students. And that's when I approached Omo Moses from YPP and Danny Martin from UIC to help me to put something together.
I felt that there was work that young people needed to do around education, and that they shouldn't just do the work, but they should also learn how to organize the work and be responsible for the work and learn how to sustain the work.
You hear people talk about statistics all the time. So now you should be thinking, okay, they calculated these statistics, but those must have been for who? A sample of some bigger population. So when you hear the average test score for African American 8th graders as the statistic that we're studying, what do you know that they didn't do? They didn't go out and get every possible African American 8th grader. They got some selected group. I was involved in some of the behind the scenes work, if you will, but I also did a little bit of out front work with the kids in terms of presentations. There was a PowerPoint slideshow where we showed them pictures of various individuals, and we had a list of occupations, and we had the students sort of challenge themselves to think about what these people do. And that helped them maybe dispel some of their own stereotypes and myths about who can and who can't do mathematics and what do various people do based on appearances. One of the pictures was of a young African-American male who many of the students thought was a hip-hopper or a rapper, but it turns out he was a mathematician of the group.
I say rapper because...
You say rapper also?
That's how the stuff is in the background.
The stuff in the background?
Right.
I think most people, if you went out in the street and said, okay, what does this guy do? Most people are going to say athlete or rapper. And the last thing in their mind might be mathematician. But here's a young man who's clearly worked very hard to get where he's at. And in fact, he's at the top of the game. He's at as hard as he can go. And I'm sure he's very proud of what he does. Now, what's interesting is that when I look at that picture, I say he looks like me. He looks like me. So I know that people that look like me can do mathematics.
Well, I think it's equal because at job career, you see Latinos, blacks, African American, you see every kind of race doing math. So that's how you know any race can do math. It don't matter where you from, what city you from, how you grew up. It doesn't matter how you learn math.